Hello, Nana Ama.
Hi.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for coming. This is my first ever episode for my YouTube channel.
Really?
Yes, it is. So
Oh,
thank you
I
for
feel so
coming.
privileged.
Well, I feel so privileged to be able to talk to you and find out what inspired you along your journey and what made you start the firm. First thing I noticed is that your firm has a very entrepreneurial feel to it. Is it by accident or it's on purpose?
I think it's by design.
It's by design.
I think it's by design. I think by nature, I'm somebody who's always looking to improve and better whatever it is that I'm doing, whether it's personally or professionally. And so I think that sort of has been embedded in the DNA of the firm.
So, what inspired you to start your own firm?
Well, I had been working with a private equity fund, and when I left the fund, I knew I wanted to go back into private practice. And I looked around and I saw some amazing law firms, but I didn't see something that was, quite right for me. And I wanted to create a place that was very young and modern in its outlook, a place where the best and brightest could aspire, regardless of what your socioeconomic background is coming in, where you could aspire to be the best and the brightest and to make a wonderful living for yourself, and be a world-class lawyer sitting right here in Accra.
Well, did you always want to be a lawyer?
No. No. I think when I was little, I think I came to it over time. But when I look back, it makes a lot of sense that I ended up here. I think when I was very little, I wanted to be an architect. I've always been very interested in beautiful things, and I love your space. By the way.
Thank you.
I'm really loving it. For me, it makes me very happy to be around beauty, particularly natural beauty, plants, and that kind of thing. So no, I wanted to be an architect when I was very little. I was always drawing. I was that kid who, you could put me in a corner with magazines and a piece of paper, and I would sketch whatever I saw in the magazine. I could do that for hours by myself. And then I wanted to be a psychologist along the way.
Architecture and psychology.
Yeah.
Those are two different things entirely.
I think they're connected.
I
think they're connected, yeah. So when I was really little, I always wanted to see the world through somebody else's eyes. So I would sit there and think, I'm seeing these carnations here, and I wonder what they look like through your eyes. And I think it's all related. So for me, architecture and design and that kind of thing is about a way of seeing and a way of representing what it is that you see, your perspective. And psychology, and at least the kind of psychology that I was interested in, was very much about perspective and point of view. So in my mind, it's all strangely connected.
So architecture, then we moved on to psychology. Then we finally moved on to law.
No. Then at some point in university, I discovered anthropology.
Wow.
And economic anthropology. So for a while there, I wanted to be an economic anthropologist, much to my mother's chagrin. She thought I would starve. And then I really toyed with being an artist, like a painter, for a while. And then I came to law.
So I guess you're a creative person.
Yeah.
You want to explore.
Yeah.
So I see that a lot in the practice that you do and even how you run your business. So would you say that were your parents surprised when you finally decided to be a lawyer, knowing you from childhood?
No, No, because I had had a very strong interest in maths and logic and that kind of thing. And I always also had a very strong interest in what was fair and right. And I was always asking why. And why is it like this? And why do some people have this? And why do some people not have that? So when you put all those things together, the logic and the, sort of sense of fairness and justice and championing the underdog and things, I don't think anybody was surprised. That's why I said when I look back, it makes a lot of sense.
That's nice. So what advice would you give to people along their journey trying to find out their own identity and what they can do that will impact the world? What would be your advice to them?
I think first and foremost, you have to find your own voice, and you have to be honest with yourself about the things that you like, and find a way to use whatever talents you have to impact the world around you. So, I mean, if you are interested in music, one of my children is interested in music. I think he grew up wanting to be. I sort of raised them on a diet of rap and R&B and things, and so he grew up wanting to be a rapper.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And I was always very encouraging of him, but I always was clear that you need to be able to support yourself. So he's now an audio engineer.
Oh, that's nice.
And so whatever your talent, you can use that to make the world a better place, whether it's a more beautiful place or to bring a little happiness to people in music making or yeah.
Speaking of rap music, who's your favorite rap artist?
Yeah, Jay-Z. Jay-Z.
What song? What Jay-Z song?
Whew, that's a tough one.
Am I putting you on the spot?
Yeah. There's so many good ones.
Okay, so
I would say Hard Knock Life.
That's premium Jay-Z. That's like 96, 97 Jay-Z.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I love all things Jay-Z. He's a very
Jay-Z.
smart guy. Yeah.
Very smart, yeah. And he's also very entrepreneurial in his approach. I mean, we've noticed that over the years.
I think Jay-Z and people like that are, they embody the kind of thing that I love.
Yeah.
It's not about the credentials. The credentials represent something. But I think that people get very fixated on what credentials do people have, as opposed to looking at what talents, what innate talents and skills do people have that you can hone with practice, practical experience, or schooling. So I think people like Jay-Z, show us that intelligence and ability is not just measured in credentials. And there are some fantastically talented and brilliant people who may not be champions in school, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to be winning in life.
That's true. That's a very valid point, because looking at our type of society and then the environment that we are in, credentials matter more. But then people fail to translate those credentials into actual profitable skills.
Yeah.
Paper carries a lot of weight in Ghana. But then when you're put on the job, you find that they falter translating those skills from paper into practice. Yeah. That leads me to my next question. Who was your first hire at Indonesia?
Oh, that's an easy one. Who's my first hire? Well, I think my first hire was a young lady called Alex. She didn't last very long, but she's a brilliant young lady. But she had other dreams and aspirations, and she chose to go and pursue those. My second hire is still with me.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, her name is Justine Adoku, and she, embodies all the things that I think that make me excited about Ghana, and that make me hopeful that, we're going to make it.
Okay. So would you tell young business owners to scale the business and then hire later, or to hire first and then scale the business later on?
I think you have to do them kind of hand in hand.
Hand in hand, okay.
Yeah. So, obviously, you can't hire more people than you're able to compensate, right? So, I've always been a big believer that you've got to cut your coat according to your cloth. But at the same time, you've got to aspire. So you can't be so focused on, okay, I have this right now, and so I'm not going to. You've got to, take some risk and bet on growth, but not just betting, planning in a structured way.
Okay.
For the growth.
So passion versus skill, which one is a more important trait?
Gosh, I think you need passion and skill.
No,
so you need.
That's not fair. You have to pick one.
Well, you need passion. You need passion, and then you've got to let that passion fuel you to develop the skill. But everybody needs a certain amount of skill too. You can't survive just on passion.
Okay. Hard work, luck, or superpower. What is the most important aspect? What contributed to your success? What do you think?
You've got to be prepared. You've got to be prepared. And I think luck is when opportunity meets preparation. Yeah, so I guess hard work. I mean, I hate to choose between those, but if I had to, I would. I prefer smart work.
Smart work, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that reminds me, there's a saying that goes like, if hard work made one rich, show me a rich donkey.
Yeah, yeah.
And you never do see one.
Yeah, smart work.
Smart work, okay, all right. What does success mean personally to you?
For me, success is being able to live the life that I want to live. Success is being able to give my children opportunities and choices, the ability to choose what it is that they would like to do, what makes them fulfilled. And I think also having an impact in whatever small way that I can on the lives of the people that I meet on my journey. So whether it's housekeepers or employees or friends or, yeah.
What advice would you give to your younger self? Let's say Nana Ama in 96. What would you tell her if you met her today?
Wow, do I even remember that girl?
We don't want the details. We just
so
want to
much
know
has
what
happened. And I'm at 96.
Yes, what would you tell her? Nana Ama, who used to bump Jay-Z, what would you tell her?
Still listens to Jay-Z.
Oh, it's still not the same Nana Ama.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Gosh, 96. Just had my first child. I would tell her not to worry so much.
Not to worry so much.
Yeah.
That's
Like
nice.
a lot of things will happen, but you'll be okay, and you have the ability, you have everything it takes to take care of yourself and to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any words of advice for a young lawyer starting? Not even just lawyers, but anybody starting a business and who wants to be successful. What advice would you give them on their path?
I would tell them to aim high. Aim high, be diligent, and don't let anybody discourage you. Don't let anybody discourage you. When you share your vision and your dreams with people, sometimes people are not able to see what you can see. They don't have your imagination. And even well-meaning people, our parents, the people who are closest to us, will, give us advice, well-meaning advice. Don't let anybody discourage you. Try all the things that you want to try, but plan and prepare.
That's nice. So, where are we gonna get a glimpse of the architect Nana Ama in the future? What's next for Nana Ama herself and then Endowina?
Oh my goodness, what's next for me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still very much in building mode.
A mixtape?
A mixtape. I did actually used to sing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I wasn't Beyonce or anything, but what's next for me? I'm very much building the law firm.
Okay.
And we are starting a program called Launchpad. And that program is aimed at providing services to smaller businesses. And so we're looking for ways to be able to share our expertise with a broader segment of the Ghanaian economy.
Okay.
So that's what's next. So looking to fan out and be of assistance to a wider variety of entrepreneurs.
Well, that's amazing. Last year, the pandemic. What was your experience during lockdown? What's one fond memory you have? Well, maybe not so fond, but what introspection?
It was a very positive time for me because usually before the pandemic I was spending a lot of time running around and now I see using my time in ways that was not the most efficient. So the pandemic forced me to sit down and focus, and the being at home with my daughter was really special. I think because we were all concerned about our health, I took the time to actually take care of my health and take care of things that I hadn't been doing. I'd been putting off because I was too busy. So it really helped me to focus on what is important, and to spend time with my loved ones. So it was a difficult time for everybody, but for me personally, it was really a good time to focus and, in a strange way, recharge.
It was a hard time, but speaking of what you said about spending time with family, the same thing happened to me. Before the pandemic, everything was go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Then the pandemic brought everything to a standstill. So then we also, as a family, had to learn ways to reconnect with each other.
Yeah.
Because then both parents weren't on their way to work. I wasn't rushing my daughter to drop her off at school at 6:30 a.m. while she's a toddler, stuff like that. So it gave me the opportunity to also bond with family, even external family. Because then every morning what we do is we'll call each other over Zoom and then talk to each other. Because then we couldn't even go visit our neighbors or our parents or nobody else. So it was, speaking of what you said, it was a good time for me as well, because it enabled me to spend quality time with family as well. All right. So in the next 10 years, what do you see doing and taking over the world? An office in LA.
That would be nice.
Kinshasa. Where?
I see, a number of the junior people who are in the firm running the firm, and the thing will hopefully be multiples of the size that it is today. And hopefully it'll be a household name in Ghana.
Okay. What's it like being a woman who takes up her own space, for example? Because you're a leader in your firm and also in your industry, and you speak with so much expertise, power, and knowledge. What's it like being a confident woman?
Gosh, I think I've never been asked that before. That's a tough one. I take each day as it comes.
Okay.
And as I listen to you, that is true of me on many days. But it's not true of me every day. So I'm pretty much like everybody else. I have my good days and I have my more difficult days. But as I get older, I think I'm very committed to making sure my voice is heard, and to speaking out where I see things that are happening that are not aligned with my personal values. So it's a daily practice, really, to put yourself out there, put yourself on the line, and to speak your mind. And it's difficult, because it's not always something that is acceptable. And then I constantly struggle with finding the right tone when I'm speaking out. So it's a work in progress. I'm very happy with where I am today. So I'm growing.
Well, on that note, we'd like to thank you for coming and speaking on this YouTube channel, and we look forward to seeing you some other time.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And I'm really privileged to be your first guest.
You flatter me. I'd like for you to subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be alerted anytime there's a new video. Like and share if you do enjoy watching this.